our 4,879 meeting for the Rotary Club of Fresno. And we're going to have some fun today. So I want to begin with that Anna was letting me know that your chances of winning some bottles of wine are really good today because we don't have a ton of people signed up. So if you are interested in the raffle for today, we have our tickets available for the 4 bottles of wine. You can text Anna, email Anna, or send her a message in the chat, but definitely want to kick that up by the time we get to it at the end of the meeting. So please let us know if you would like to do that. 1 for $5, 3 for 10, or 8 for 20. In regards to, we also are trying this out. For those of you that have any interest, if you have any good news to share, you're welcome to put it in the chat feature on the side of the meeting there. So please don't hesitate. Let us know. We're going to have some recognition towards the end of the meeting, but definitely want to recognize those of you that haven't signed up for that. You're welcome to put that in the chat feature. In addition to that, we've been having our fun poll for each meeting, and this meeting is no different. I'm going to launch it right now, but this is fun. 300 million participate on Zoom each day. Many students use Zoom 5 to 6 hours a day. How many times a week do you, or how many times do you spend on week, or how many hours a week do you spend on Zoom right now for future meetings? And it doesn't have to be just Zoom. It could be whether it's Microsoft Teams or whatever else. But please go ahead and fill that out when you have a chance. The answer, I'm sure for some of you, is a lot more than you want to. And nevertheless, it's kind of the world we're stuck in right now. And as I put in the chat feature, there's a few birthdays coming up over the next 2 weeks. So check that out. Happy birthday to those of you who have one coming up, especially during this Valentine's week that we're going to have here pretty quick. In addition, let's see here. We started something else new. Thank you for the suggestion, Blair. And Blair put his money where his mouth is. He is our first meeting sponsor for the Rotary Club of Fresno. So Mr. Blair, are you on right now?
I'm on.
You are on. Fabulous. Well, thank you for being our first Monday meeting sponsor. And Anna got on the screen what it's going to take to do that, but you're going to tell us. So I think we know a little bit. You're not too shy of a guy. We have a good idea what the BBB does, but maybe you're going to tell us a little bit more.
Well, I'd like to tell you a little bit that I told you in the spotlight last week, that the BBB is a standards-based community benefit organization created by a local community of trustworthy businesses. These are the people who support the BBB's mission to provide reliable and unbiased information on the local marketplace that benefits businesses and consumers before they make a purchase decision. And so our goal is to have this group of people who've been invited to become part of this community of trustworthy businesses. They follow standards that we set for them. We have 8 standards that they have to meet. We encourage them to follow best marketplace practices to be accredited with us. And then we celebrate those businesses for their trustworthiness and their ethics in the marketplace. And we denounce substandard business practices by those people who are scamming you and trying to rip you off. One of the things I'm really proud about, people say, well, you know, the Better Business Bureau, you're not a commerce organization. You don't connect businesses with consumers. Well, you're so wrong on that impression. Last year, in 2020, we have a program called Get a Quote, and we connected 8,018 consumers with businesses for services that they wanted to have done for them. Most of those were in the construction and automotive repair areas. And that was real cool. And we're getting ready to launch our second quarter of a campaign that we call Become More Visible. So we run through social media on Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as an email program that we go out. And because I'm a marketing guy, here's the graphic that we're sending out that talks about the 2,932,485 business records, the business profiles that were reviewed by local consumers and local businesses in 2020. So we're really proud about that. And so that's how we help drive business. So when you want to find out about a business, come to sencalbbb.org. You'll become one of those 2,900,000 who want to check out a business. And I'd like to, and by the way, for those 2,900,000, we had 5 million visitors to our website last year. I don't think there's anybody else in the Central Valley that has that much activity to their website. So I need to collect this box in the middle of my screen and submit it so I can get it out of my way. So that's what we do. That's how we help the marketplace. That's how the community benefits from us. And all the services we provide are paid for through the fees of accreditation that those businesses that support our mission. So it's free to the consumers.
Well, that's fantastic, Blair. Thank you so much. As I mentioned before, you're a very proud Rotarian, the president-elect that we're excited to have coming in here in just gosh, what are you, 16 months away at this point?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, after that training that I was in Austin, Texas this last weekend, I got a lot of catching up to do. I got a lot of catching up to do. If I could just say one thing about this sponsorship. I thought of this idea when I got my bill the other day. And I said, the Rotary Club's not making enough money. We need to have more money to run this club to put into our community projects. So I encourage everybody to sponsor a day. Pick a meeting. It's inexpensive. It's $100.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the spotlight. You're going to get the recognition pre and post the meeting, plus all the other things. And this meeting is recorded. And I believe, Anna, don't we put it out there for social media? So you're going to get a lot of coverage on it. So I just encourage everybody to go give this an idea. First come, first serve.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Blair. Thank you for being the first one,
Pleasure.
The first of many, and thanks for kicking this off.
Thank you, Ryan.
Now for my Fresno famous face today, I'm doing a little bit different, and she's on here, but I'm going to do a little bit of a video introduction first because I like to do video introductions when I have the opportunity. So it's not too often that we get a celebrity of this stature on here, but give me 1 second. Hopefully you can all hear this as I start it up.
My name's Elaine Colati. I'm an entrepreneur. I've made my living doing real estate, development, interior design. The goal is to build something out of nothing every time. I'm going to be on Undercover Billionaire and show you that I can build a business out of thin air.
To $1 million business in 90 days. Woo!
The only reason to really do the show is it's incredibly rewarding. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. I'm extremely challenged on so many levels. What I love about the show is that it's pushing me harder than I push myself, which is almost impossible. Everyone should do something like this in their lives. It's doing something for other people. It's not about my agenda at all. It might seem like that at times, but it really isn't. At the end, it's gifting, and there's nothing more rewarding than gifting. I'll walk away from this business and give it to the people that actually deserve it and should have it.
Undercover Billionaire. Elaine, welcome to the Rotary Club of Fresno.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
No problem. I'm so excited to have you here. So let's start with the basics. Undercover Billionaire. Okay, it's a show on the Discovery Channel. I'm hoping several of our folks have seen it. If not, we'll make sure we get the information there in the chat and we'll email it out to them. But how'd you get roped into this? Oh. I think I'm having some tech issues. Elaine, if you can hear us, you might have to sign out and let me see here, sign out, sign right back in because for some reason it's frozen. I'm assuming it's not just on my end, correct, everybody? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix this.
Okay, I think I'm back.
You are back. Welcome back.
Got a lot of going on here.
No problem. Well, Elaine, thanks for joining us. Well, first off, tell us about Undercover Billionaire and more importantly, about yourself. That there's a reason that I brought you into a Fresno Rotary meeting. It's not because of, you're from outside of the area, but you got to spend a lot of time up here.
Well, first of all, thank you all for allowing me to come into your private meeting because I do realize from my past experience that the Rotary Club is a sacred and beautiful place with really great people that are, strong in the community. And so thank you for letting me invade your private, meeting. I appreciate that. Secondly, coming to Fresno was not a decision that was mine. I was dropped in Fresno, to be clear. And even though I'd lived in California since 1993, I did not realize what Fresno was capable of and what Fresno had done and what Fresno means to the US. and I'm a farmer. I love farming. And so it was a big education in a very short period of time. I landed at Shepherd's Inn. So anybody from Fresno probably knows where Shepherd's Inn is. And that was also by accident. I was stuck in the parking lot at 7-Eleven trying to figure out where I was going to sleep with $100, a cell phone with no contacts in it, an old truck that had a lot of problems. And yeah, that was it. That was me. And I grew to love the people that I was working with immediately. It took about, I would say, 6 weeks before we had a plan, a location, everything that we needed. And I was fully into farming in Fresno and meeting farmers and going to farmers markets and working on big farms and spending time and shining a light on farming. And in that process, I went to Ryan, and Ryan will tell you that I showed up on his doorstep.
Ah, shoot, we lost her again, it looks like. Until she comes back, I will mention to everybody, so she's on the reality show Undercover Billionaire. It shows on Wednesday nights on the Discovery Channel at 8 p.m. You can set your DVR or your automatic recording to that. It is on, I believe it's on week number.
For help as it related to farming, and he was not just. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to give me enough internet to work.
Okay, we got you now. We got you now.
Got you now?
Yep, you just broke back in. So.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Are you there?
Yep, got you.
Sorry, I don't know where I left off. Where was I? Was I already at Shepherd's Inn?
You jumped off right when you were talking about meeting up with me. So.
Okay. So in desperation, I went to the Farm Bureau, which, of course.
Maybe if you turn your video off, I don't know what's happening.
Yours truly. Say it what?
Maybe turn the video off. We can hear your vocals good when the video was off.
I could do that. I suppose I could try. Do you not want to see me? I don't know.
Oh, we love seeing you, but it just keeps breaking up real bad.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, way better.
All right, I'll do that. So once I arrived at the Farm Bureau and we sat down and we began to talk about farming in Fresno, Ryan brought to my attention some of the really important facts about farming and corrected some of my math and really gave me a window to the inside of what's going on in small farming. And small farming especially became sort of my platform for Undercover Billionaire. It's about starting a business with nothing, no question, but my platform is farming. My platform is helping small farming. And next year when we come back to Fresno, which we will, it is about creating farming transport for small farmers and working on supply line. And a lot will be happening in downtown Fresno next to the railroad station, because we are planning on doing a partnership with Union Pacific and bringing a traveling farmers market by train, starting in Fresno and ending in Fresno. And it's a big plan, but it is underway and it is needing support from community members. And we should be hopefully ready to start our first tour in August. And we will do one every year if we can, out of this particular location, using Fresno as our flagship. And the name of the train is called the 559. So it's a farm train and it's specifically based out of the 559.
No, that's awesome. And I was telling folks when you broke up one time that the show is on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. They can set their DVRs and they can record it. But the most important thing is beyond watching the show is that they can go see the final product that you worked on down at the Shepherd's Inn, because the Chef's Club, which is open for meals, coffees, and all that kind of good stuff, you're able to be a member of. And so very much encourage folks to go check that out.
The Shepherd's Inn is absolutely wonderful, renamed Chef's Club for a lot of reasons, because it's not quite like you might remember it. We have a deli that is open and a full grocery store filled with fresh farm food. And then we also reopened the hotel upstairs and a new coffee shop in the back. The business is amazing and I'm so proud of them. I'm actually here in Fresno working with them. I'm going to be there Wednesday night. We have music and we're going to air episode 5. To be clear, the network is so happy with our show that they are launching it in April 1st on the actual Discovery Network versus the app, which is called Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus is the home of this particular show. Discovery Plus is a business section of Discovery Network. It's you have to buy it unless you have Verizon. I think there's a year free program or 6 months. $4.99 1 month is free. And basically you can download the shows and get all the business tips, which is cool. But then in April, it will air on the network. And there will be interviews in between each episode with business tips for our local, business.
Well, great. Well, Elaine, thank you so much. Was excited to have you today and share a little bit more about the show and how the great spotlight it does put on Fresno and all that our folks in the farming community do for the nation.
By the way, Ryan, Shepherds would love to host one of your meetings, and they would be happy to do that for you anytime.
Absolutely. We're
whatever.
You could see everybody's head nod that we all pray that we can get together in person sooner than later, because we've been on this virtual route for about, we're going on almost 11 months now. So we got a lot of folks that are eager to get together for the socialization, and we will definitely take you up on that.
We're outside in the back. If the weather is good and we schedule it, it might be possible.
Well, great. Well, no, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And really appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and everybody get to hear more about the cool little adventure you're on.
You're a wonderful person to work with, Ryan. I'm really grateful for everything you've done for us.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Elaine. Appreciate it. And now it's going to take this opportunity to introduce, and by the way, Elaine, you're getting virtual claps. You just can't hear it because everybody's microphone's off, but we're moving on to Leanne Eager, who is is a transportation commissioner. We know her from our local EDC, but she is also a transportation commissioner who's going to introduce our speaker for the day. Leanne.
Good afternoon. Hi, Ryan. Nice to see you. Even
You
on
too.
this.
Exactly.
Yes. Nice to see you all. Thank you. Yes, this is exciting for me. As Ryan said, in June, the governor appointed me to the California Transportation Commission. And in July, Diana moved over to Caltrans. And so she is now, I'm going to be introducing Diana Gomez, and she is now the Caltrans District 6 Director. So she oversees everything to do with state highway system from Fresno, Madera, Kings, Tulare, Kern counties. She has full responsibility for everything that goes on, administration, operation for all of Caltrans. You might remember before that, she was our district director for high-speed rail here in the Valley. And we worked together for many years while she was doing that. I think she did that from 2013 till just this year, 2020. She was responsible at that time for everything high-speed rail, from making sure that we get all the right of way to the construction of everything. She worked with all of our elected officials, policymakers, everyone to move high-speed rail ahead. Before high-speed rail, she was in Caltrans. So she's gone full circle, come all the way back to Caltrans. She worked with Caltrans for more than 25 years before she went to high-speed rail. At that time, she was a senior transportation electrical engineer, chief for offices of traffic management systems, management operations. I think she was down in LA for a while, but she's a Madera girl. She's a hometown girl here. She earned her bachelor's degree at Fresno State. She had a degree in electrical engineering. She's a fellow top dog from Fresno State. She's also a registered electrical engineer and certified project manager. People ask me if I went over to the California Transportation Commission because Diana moved to Caltrans so we could work together, but I was there first. I'm just saying, putting it out there. I went to CTC first. But with that, I'll turn it over to my friend, Diana Gomez.
Thank you, Leanne, for that introduction. So I do have, first I do want to thank you for inviting me to come and speak about Caltrans and the district itself. So I do have a PowerPoint. So Anna, do I just start sharing? It says the host, okay. Here we go. Okay. So just a little bit first about Caltrans. We have 12 districts and over 19,000 employees, 12,000 center line miles, over 50,000 lane miles, which means, you know, the lanes when you add up all of the lanes versus just the one, the mile and the center line, over 13,000 bridges, and we got a 13.6 billion annual budget. District 6, which is right in the heart of California, and you could see there on the map, is 476 center line miles of freeway and over 15,000 of center line miles of conventional highway. So we have a lot more conventional highway than we do actual freeway miles. I'm also responsible for the central region. So there are two regions at Caltrans, the central and the north. And what they did a long time ago is they combined three districts. So in this case, District 10, 5, and 6 into one region when it comes to delivery. So I am also the district director for the central region. So I am responsible for project development, environmental construction, and right-of-way in two other districts. In District 6, under me is our asset management group, maintenance and operations, planning, and local assistance and administration. So not just these 5 counties. When it comes to delivery, I also have the rest of the counties themselves. District 5 encompasses Santa Cruz, San Benito, Monterey, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara. And District 10 encompasses Alpine, Amador, Calaveras, San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Merced, Mariposa, and Tuolumne. So a big chunk of California. My team is responsible for delivery of those 4 items that I mentioned. Just a little bit about our funding. So there are many different funding programs for transportation in California. The ones I'll mention today are the major funding sources for transportation. So we have the federal program. So currently the federal authorization, which is the FAST Act that we talk about, and that started in 2016 and goes through 2020. And so we are waiting for the new federal funds. Local measure money, which is Measure C, that the voters passed. And so that's also a revenue source. Other kinds of local funds that they may get from, you know, other kinds of grants. These are a variety of whether they get local or state or federal resources. Um, and also the CMAQ, which has to do with congestion. SB1 funding was the bill, the Road Repair and Accountability Act that passed in 2017. And that's where we get most of our money for the maintenance piece of it. By 2027, we will repair or replace over 17 miles of pavement, 55,000 culverts and drains, over 7,000 signals, and 500 bridges. 52 billion over 10 years, half state and half local. Also, so provides also local money. So that's for the congestion corridor programs, the trade corridor programs, and the bike and pedestrian projects. So that's kind of where we get the funding. It's divided over the STIP and the shop. So the shop is where we do all of our maintenance piece of it. And the STIP is where we get, those are new construction projects that add capacity to any network. So it consists of 2 programs, the Caltrans program that we manage, the ITIP, but then there's also the regional transportation improvement programs, the RTIP. And I mentioned about SHOP. So maintenance responsibilities, some of the things that we do every single day. We do respond to incident response, whether they're accidents, emergency traffic control, safety repairs. In the summertime, we do summer fire prevention And, we're out there mowing for fire prevention, clearing out trees outside of our right of way within so many feet. We are, for winter operations, we go out and clear all the drains, the inlets and pump houses for the storms. So and during the winter time, we do 24-hour patrols of storm events. So this weekend, we're expecting a big storm. So you'll have our maintenance forces out there watching for flooding. And of course, if we have snow, we need to remove that. We have snow removal in Shaver and in Coarse Gold. And then we also have Operation Snowflake, which is how we manage the snow that falls on State Route 58, and then also on Interstate 5 over the Grapevine. So a couple of weeks ago, when we had major storms, we had I-5 and 58 closing and opening, and so we manage all of those things. The Senate bill SB1, these are some of the things that we have to continuously monitor: pavement, bridge, culverts, the signs, striping, lighting, signals, and guardrails. So we do need to do that. We do have a system. It's called the customer service request. It allows the public to help maintenance identify issues on state routes. And so we get quite a bit of these requests. We are required to complete a CSR by within 30 days. And then we have our yearly landscape and litter and homeless encampments that we have. Those are expenditures that are increasing at a faster rate than terms of the money that we've had. So as you know, and you've been seeing in the media, specifically around the homeless, we've had quite a bit of increased activity. Some of our maintenance challenges, we do have aging highways with high truck volumes, although you are seeing a lot of construction out there. We have damages to infrastructure from fires, the theft. We still continue to have a lot of wire theft out there. Some days we could have an entire system of lights go out because they stole all of the wire from our pole boxes. The drought, and then the homeless, and as I mentioned, and I'll talk a little bit more about the homeless. Many of our freeways are over 50 years old, and they do need to completely rebuild. Our staffing levels is almost the same as post-recession. So as you can see there, from 2007, we had 320 field. That's just in District 6 alone. And in 2020, I have over only 308. So you don't see a big increase in that staffing, but yet we're continuing to expand our freeway systems in Fresno. So we just opened up 180 all the way out beyond Temperance, getting to Centerville. We're continuing to expand facilities, but at the same time, our staffing continues to stay the same. We just, on wire theft alone, we're continuing to spend millions of dollars on that just to try to deter it. So we are also looking at different ways. We're talking about using aluminum conductors versus copper conductors. But specifically, some of these are our maintenance challenges on any given day. So I want to talk a little bit about the encampments, because I know this is a big sore topic for a lot of cities. Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, that prevents us because from spreading the virus, the governor asked us not to remove homeless individuals from our right of way unless there was a serious safety issue and threat to the infrastructure. Well, we do have these interim guidelines that we had to create. And because we are not able to move them, that has just allowed them to move in more into our right of way. So what we need to do is and we have classified every single encampment in one of these levels. Level 1, that's a critical priority. And I have the authority now to be able to approve when we have a level 1 encampment. When they're inside of our bridge cells, Um, Last week, they started a fire underneath one of a 41 structure. And then when they are within the clear recovery area. So my staff is out there categorizing them. As soon as level ones pop up, we're able to go out there within a day and get them relocated. Level two, those are high priorities. Those are when they are near our access roads, the embankment slopes, and the interchanges. And so this, we have to send this up to headquarters and they give us approval within 24 hours. And then we're able to go out there and relocate them. And then threes and fours is kind of where a lot of them are at. And so we're not able to touch them or ask them to relocate at all. So, the homeless are getting very creative. They are creating, these like caves and holes within our embankments. And so that undermines our facilities. So then we are able to get them to relocate. We did partner with the city of Fresno Project Off Ramp. I do give a lot of thanks to Mayor Dyer. I was going to call him Chief Dyer, but Mayor Dyer, uh, in this initiative that he proposed. And we were able to, this gives us a little bit, not any more latitude, but it allows us to get out there more quickly. So they received over 800 million dollars available for this response, not 800 million, but they received a portion of this money and they purchased, acquired 5 motels, which gave us over 300 plus rooms. So the city received 24 million. So we're calling it, they call it Project Home Key. So after we categorized every single encampment, um, Mayor Dyer wanted us to just go in there and do everyone. We couldn't. We still have to live under that same criteria of level 1 and level 2. So we are focused on level 1 and level 2. And it has been successful. So far, we've only been able to do it the first week, then the storms came, and then now we're focused on this week. And the city really needs to get more rooms available. But we had the first week, we had 50 rooms. We offered it to 42 individuals, and all 42, they offered it to 50 individuals and 42 of them accepted. And that's a big rate increase in what we were experiencing before Fresno Project Off-Ramp. And one of the things we're working with the city is we need to document the success of this project, which will then we can hopefully go back to the governor and allow us to go beyond the level 1s and level 2s. So that's one of the motels there. And you could see all those dots. Each of those dots is an encampment, and an encampment could have up to 1 to 25 people in each encampment. So we using a GIS mapping, and it took a lot, along with CHP, the city staff, our staff, to get all of these mapped out. So so we really like this, where we're going with this project. And again, we're hoping that we can continue to move forward. Another topic here is litter. And this is another, issue that Mayor Dyer wants us to tackle. So we have, this continue to be a constant problem on our freeways. People are just driving along the freeways and just throwing things out. There is no enforcement for litter. And it just seems that we haven't done any, litter campaigns. And so you just got a lot of people throwing things out in the encampments, the unsheltered encampments. That's the new correct terminology. Unsheltered encampments, a lot of hazardous waste. We have to contract with a hazardous waste contractor to come in after we move out the unsheltered. A hazard waste contractor comes in, cleans up everything, and then we go then and repair fences and any holes. The Adopt a Program, Adopt a Highway program was a program we started a long time ago. And there was a lot of traction in the beginning. And lately, there was a lot of less emphasis placed on the Adopt a Highway program. And this is one that we really want to get more people to start adopting a highway. It's a 5-year commitment, and then you do receive, your acknowledgement, just like you see there on that sign. Um, there are we also do use the parolee crews that had stopped for a while, because we couldn't get them out there, transport, get them out to locations. And then there was some issues around safety with them, but we are hopefully gearing that back up, that so we can get more individuals out there. One of our goals is to try to have 2 days a month to clean up litter. So that's something, a big emphasis that we wanna put on. The Fresno Pilot Litter Program, it's a partnership between Caltrans and Measure C and the city of Fresno. This was a 2-year period. We contributed over 200,000, the measure 100,000, and the city 100,000. So this is a program that, again, in us using either its crews or other individuals to help us get out there. As you can see, we're trying to bring the adult offenders work program. We're working with the city to see how we can do that. So we have several initiatives. We have Beautify Bakersfield, and then now, Beautify Fresno. So let me know when I need to stop in case this is going too long. So if someone can just let me know.
Yeah, I will do it, Diana.
Okay.
Yeah, keep rolling, and then maybe in a few more minutes we'll.
Okay. So I want to talk quickly about some of our local projects here. So State Route 41, you've heard a lot about that. Assemblyman Patterson brought a lot of attention to this. If the project is located in Fresno County, it's around 6 miles in length. This is a 2-lane portion. So on each side of this 6-mile section, there is the 4-lane expressway. And this was left out for several reasons. When the measure passed, we didn't include it in the measure because Caltrans at that time, back in 2010, had it programmed. And then it got deprogrammed because we had the recession, and then programmed back up. So it's been in and out of the system, as I call it. So we've had a couple of fatalities out there where people trying to pass. So what we've done is we've taken this in segment, trying to do what could we do early. And so first thing we did is we let everyone know that there was a divided highway ahead. And hopefully they would be patient. And then we created a no passing zone by adding the double yellow stripes. So now this allows CHP to get out there and ticket anyone trying to pass within this corridor. The other thing that we're working on is we're working on a project that by the summertime, in the summer, you will see now a medium barrier. This is up on the coast on 41, but this is what it'll look like when we're done. So our goal is to get that in place by the summertime. I do want to thank, Leanne. She was very instrumental working with the commission and us in getting, the project funded. So it's just a quick timeline. I won't spend too much time talking about the timeline, but our goal is to get this done by the summertime. And we wanted to do, some things quickly. So that's why we've put up the do not pass signs, and then we converted it to a no passing zone. Another big project that's coming to Fresno, State Route 99 rehab project. This kind of picks up where high-speed rail stopped when they relocated 99. Starts at Clinton, goes all the way to El Dorado. 3.5 miles of pavement we're going to replace. We're going to widen some bridges. We're going to enhance improvements. We're going to have ped and bicycle facilities. And right now we're tentative to start construction in 2025. Just a couple of highlights. Our plan is to shut down the Belmont interchange and redo the Olive interchange, a complete redo of the Olive interchange. And we are still working right now with the city. We may end up also shutting down the McKinley on off ramp and on ramp. So that's just kind of some features of what we're working on. The State Route 99 North Avenue interchange. As you know, when you get off there at North, a lot of traffic, a lot of truck traffic, and this kind of just gives you one of the alternatives that we are environmentally studying. A lot of growth out there in the north, a lot of industrial stuff that's happening, thanks to the EDC. Creating some problems for us out there, but a lot happening out there. And so this is kind of an overview of what we plan to do there. Then all of you have heard a lot about State Route 99 Veterans Boulevard interchange. This project was, they're hoping to begin construction later this summer. It adds a brand new interchange on 99 between Herndon and Shaw Avenue. And so Veterans Boulevard will now connect both sides of Fresno. And this was a phased approach project with high-speed rail paying for a portion of that. You can see kind of high-speed rail there where Veterans Boulevard goes over it. That's in construction right now. And then also you could kind of see the Golden State Boulevard as it's pushed away from high-speed rail. So that portion is in construction, and the rest of the interchange that goes over 99 will actually start later this summer. So this, I see Veterans Project as a win-win for the city, but also two other state agencies, Caltrans and High Speed Rail. And so leveraging, this is a hodgepodge of money from everywhere, federal funds, state funds. And so was really pleased to see this going. So this is going to be great for the city, specifically for those that live west of 99 are now going to be connected to east of 99 by another big highway. So that's all the presentation that I had. So I talked a lot here, gave you a lot of information, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Diana. I appreciate that. So she said it, actually, I'll start with my first question. It was Leanne brought it up at the beginning there, said you were a top dog. So you said the 2015 class of top dogs was the best, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I'm only joking with all of you because I know I have a ton of other top dogs on here, and I happen to have shared 2015 with Diana, so that's my only fun joke with her. But with that said, we got several questions here. You answered the 41 one, but let's jump to 41 North. There was a question about is the intent for 41 to go all the way to 145?
Yeah, so that is, we are working with Madera County as, I do live in Madera County, I live in the Rancho, so I see this every day. Lots of houses being built in Madera County. So Madera County, we do have environmental clearance to expand 41 all the way to 145. And so we're working with Madera County since they have to fund a big portion of what's going to happen. And so our goal is to have freeway pickup. We're currently at Children's Boulevard and carry the freeway all the way past Avenue 12, and then it would convert to a 4-lane, either conventional or expressway. And then Madera County also has plans right now to carry Rio Mesa Boulevard, which is east of 41, which would go from where it currently stops at Children's Boulevard and go all the way to that development, Tesoro Viejo up there.
Got it. I know you could probably talk a long time on this, Diana, but maybe just the summary of, what did you guys have to do in relation to the creek fire? And one of the specific question was, how many miles of guardrail did you have to replace as a result of the creek fire?
Well, the first thing, we are still actually replacing guardrail, but one of the big things was we needed to do a lot of tree removal. And so we needed to go a certain amount of feet outside of the road itself there. And so we are still out there repairing and removing trees. All that was done through an executive director's order. And so we are still out there. And this storm that just passed, we were very fortunate that there was so much snow that it prevented, from, so we were expecting a lot of mudslides, but because a lot of snow fell, it's kind of just contained, the slopes there. But we are still out there working on the creek fire and some of its aftermath.
Great. I kind of know the answer to this question. I'm summarizing it, but it's asking about why it takes so long for these projects to be built today compared to what it used to. And again, you could probably speak if you could summarize, but I'm sure it has a lot to do with the environmental reports and everything else that you have to do, as well as just the different workforce conditions today.
Well, the big key thing is the environmental document. So every year a new species comes up, or a new protected plant comes up. So then we're required to do additional studies. Before we didn't have to do so many studies, even when we're just doing an overlay. Now we're still required to do a lot of studies specifically around the bugs and critters. So that's one thing that has added time. But this is something that I've asked our team to see how we could, focus and maybe shorten that time. Is there things that, do we really need to do all those studies? Can we take a little bit more risks when it comes to the environmental document? One thing that Caltrans, that's one thing they don't want to take a lot of risks because they don't want to end up with a lot of lawsuits. And so we've been very fortunate to not have a whole lot of lawsuits when it comes to that environmental document. And then the other key thing is the funding, because we are competing. So even though, it could take us a year or 2 years to go through the process, but I may not have funding for 10 years. So that pushes out that entire project as well. So that's one of the, other reasons. This portion of 41, we've been designing it since, 2010, but that doesn't mean we've been just designing it. The funding was in and out, in and out. And so we're hoping right now, we are working with Measure C and also Fresno COG to see how we can group together a hodgepodge of funding to get that built.
Yeah, no, well, thank you. And then last question I'll leave with, only because it's close to the hearts of several folks that are on the call here, is what is the intent with maintaining the murals on 41 and 99? And I know that's something the Rotary Club's been involved with over the time.
Yeah, we want to create, that partnership. I don't want to say I just got here. It's already going to be 7 months, but that's something that I'll look into. But I know we had a partnership with the high schools, and to have them restored, shine them up. And so I will look into that. And then when I get some more details of where exactly we're at with that partnership, I'll shoot you a note, Ryan.
Well, fantastic. Well, Diana, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate the information, and you gave some very good comments as far as some of the active stuff that's going on in the community, and I know our members appreciate that. So virtual round of applause. Thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, and we'd love to continue to come on, maybe every 6 months and give you an update.
No, thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks so much. Hopefully see you in person next time. So
yes.
Well, thank you. I'm going to move on now. For those of you who participate, thank you so much. The number one response was 3, or basically, let's just say 9 to 20 hours a week on online platforms. God bless you folks. I mean, I guess I'm technically one of them, but yeah, I'm sure there's some major burnout there. So thanks so much for filling that out today. And with that said, we are very fortunate, got a few recognitions. Mr. Dick Harrington, who also celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Dick. Oh, Let's see, Dick. I don't think we can hear you, Dick. You're not muted, but nope. But Miss Anna is going to probably be walking through the door any second to fix that for you. Safety first. Nope, nothing yet. With that said, as Dick is getting that figured out, I'll mention to everybody, we are dark next week because of the President's Day holiday. We return in 2 weeks with Mr. Harry Overly, who is the president and CEO of Sunmade. I love doing some business ones, and I thought this would be a fantastic one since they're really going through a major revitalization effort of their branding. And you could say a raisin's a raisin, but he's going to come tell you what they're trying to do differently with a raisin to try to get consumers to eat more. So super excited to have him here and talk about all the changes that are taking place over there. And I know we have Dick now because he is at Anna's seat there. So go ahead, Dick.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, got you good.
Patty White, are you on or unmuted?
Yes, I'm unmuted.
I understand, and I know that you've had some significant changes in your family over the last short period of time. Tell us a little bit about those.
Okay, here is my two great grandsons, Zephyr, who's 4 months old, and Baron Albert, who is 6 months old. And they both arrived last year. And I have so much fun with them. And here is the grandma and the great grandma and the auntie. So we're all represented here.
Well, that's
And I have one more. Do we have Melissa's wedding? Maybe not.
no, apparently she doesn't have that one. But we do know that Melissa got married within this short period of time also, correct?
Yes, Melissa got married in September. So it's been a wonderful year for me.
I guess so. Well, how wonderful has it been as it relates to Rotary community projects?
Well, I'd love to ring the bell for each one of my great grandsons and also for Melissa.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
John Coakley, why don't you unmute yourself?
I hope I just did.
You just did. Now you've been with the club. First, you were with the club about 11 years when you were with the Fresno Bee, and
Right.
and since you took a short retirement, now with the Community Medical Foundation, you've been with us a year. Tell us about your experiences in Rotary.
Well, needless to say, it's been wonderful, and truly, it is an honor to be involved with so many people who give so much to the community. I'm always proud to say I'm a Rotarian, and it's amazing how many people hold you all in such high regard. So it's really great to be part of something that is doing so much for our valley. So I do appreciate that. I'm thrilled with my new gig at Community Medical Foundation and all that they do as well. So that's a pretty good combo. So I'd like to ring the bell twice for those two items. I really appreciate that. And very importantly, I'm really excited about the new fashion trend where blue is back in style. In case you didn't know, let me show you a little bit about the new headwear that we shall all be wearing in recognition of the Dodgers' great World Series championship. Here's another hat I'd like to model for you, given to me by my son. So go Dodgers. Every time I get the mic, I'm going to say it. So just get used to it.
Well, you may be in the minority around here, but that's the way it goes. John, thank you very much. We really appreciate all that you do and for Rotary and for the community. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Dick.
Jim Ford, if you would unmute yourself, appreciate it.
Hey, Dick, how are you?
Pretty good. Now, Jim's the president and CEO of Central Valley Community Bank. Been in Rotary for 5 years, a member of the board. Jim, we're certainly glad that you are with the Rotary Club of Fresno.
Thank you, Dick. So I committed to do 3 virtual bells today. I went looking for one and couldn't find a bell, but I have something to end my recognition with. So I'll start off with just recognizing all of you and all of us that survive 2020. This year, our employee rally is actually branded as Survivor. So those Survivor fans out there, you know what I'm talking about, but it really was everybody pulling together to help our communities throughout the Valley. The second virtual bell is for the fundraising that we did for the Central Sierra Resiliency Fund, help the fire victims up on the hill. And we made a corporate donation of $25,000 and then committed to get that matched. And we actually exceeded that match. So I think we got another $35,000 on top of that for the Central Sierra Resiliency Fund. So those folks, along with many others, are very appreciative. And then lastly, as I said earlier, 2020 was about surviving. And I've said this before in a presentation I made earlier in 2020 that we didn't go into 2020 here at the bank thinking there was any chance of a 100-year pandemic. And to see the team pull together and do the things that they did to take care of our clients up and down the Valley was amazing. So oftentimes as leaders, we don't get the opportunity to see the type of selfless actions that our teammates make. And they did it on their own, they did it as teammates, and they did it to help the community. So those are my three virtual bells. And since I didn't have a bell, but I do have my easy button, I say it's just this. That was easy. To help fund Rotary.
How about this, Jim? Oop. Jim, thank you very much for all that you do and that your bank does for the community. It's all appreciated, I know, by everybody who's been a benefactor of those efforts. Brent Lindquist, how about unmuting yourself if you would?
All set. Dick.
I understand that you have some things that you'd like to share with the members of the club.
Yeah, I've been busy. I retired a year ago from LinkCare, but I've been busy as a consultant and trainer for a number of churches and ministry organizations around the country. And also I'm just starting a practice-based, medical practice-based chaplaincy service in town. So that ought to be very interesting. A lot of people are familiar with hospital chaplains, but we're actually going to do it with a medical practice. So, but the big news is I want to honor my son, who you all was interviewed. And this is a Christmas picture, Ben, the emergency physician, and all first responders. And this is Ben and Elise and my granddaughter, Kylie. And I won't say who, but someone in this picture is going to be a big sister come May.
Aha.
I'll let that sink in.
Let that sink in. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, that I mean, you got to hand it to our kids forging ahead in the midst of the COVID. We've suggested the name Covita for this little girl. But,
I'm sure that went over well.
There's my bell. So thank you so much for letting me speak.
Thank you very much, Brent. Appreciate your contribution to Rotary projects. And finally, I would like to just announce that Nancy Hensel rang the bell 3 times. First, her son and her daughter-in-law gave birth to a healthy granddaughter on October 28th in San Diego, and also to honor that granddaughter's 2-year-old sister. So Nancy Hensel has rang the bell 3 times in that recognition. So thank you very much, Nancy. Ryan, that's it.
Thank you, Dick. Wonderful. Love the recognition. Congrats to all you guys that ring the bell today. This is the time that I know you're all waiting for. Anna, pick today's winner.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this right this time. I'm gonna pull the thing.
Well, it's only right. It's gonna be right for one person. So let's see who that one person is.
Oh my gosh, the same guy that won last week, John Horseman.
Good for John. Well, fabulous. Well, thank you everybody for that participating in today's raffle. It was fantastic. We definitely got a big boost there. And with that said, again, we're dark next week. Join us in 2 weeks for Mr. Harry Overly with Sunmaid, who's going to be our speaker. And with that, meeting adjourned.